Did you ever get pinched when you were in grade school? I used to get pinched all the time. I think I'm safe today. But I used to say, hey, my eyes are green. Doesn't that count? Hi, I'm Jill from thisoldgal.com. Today I'm in the kitchen with Jill, going to be making corned beef and cabbage. Growing up, we made this a lot, and we used to call it New England boiled dinner, which is very similar. The New England boiled dinner has other vegetables like rutabaga and turnips. So in the 19th century, the immigrants from Ireland, there was a dish called bacon and cabbage. When they came over, they used corned beef and cabbage. So in a nutshell, that's where this came from. So let's get started. First of all, this is about a 4-pound corned beef. You can use whatever size you have, 2 pounds, 5 pounds, whatever's going to fit. You can also use any size pressure cooker. If you use a 3-quart pressure cooker, smaller amounts, an 8-quart, larger amounts. So you can either parboil this, because it's very salty, by putting it into the pressure cooker and just covering with water for about 0 minutes. Dump the water, clean out the scum, and start from fresh. But today I've soaked this in water to get the salt out. So 2 different ways. Alright, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to take a couple of garlic cloves. Just going to smash them, that's it. Just like that. You don't even need to mince them. There we go. Not very strong today. Pop them right in there. And take an onion. Cut it in half. Put that right in there as well. Now we're going to take the corned beef. Hopefully I can handle this. Big one. And we're going to put it into the pressure cooker. Try to get the fat side up. You can see the fat right there. It's very heavy. Put it right in there. Easy as can be. Alright, next thing we're going to do, I like to use Guinness Stout beer. It gives it a wonderful taste. A little bit of a malty taste. If you don't want to use that, all water is fine. So let me get this open. I can't open it. Ed, could you open this for me? Thank you. So Ed's going to open that. As he's opening that, thank you, want to pour it in? I'm going to cut a little spice packet. Now the spice packets come with the corned beef.
It's not a twist top.
It's not a twist top. All right, he's going to get an opener. So the spice packet comes with the corned beef. Usually. Sometimes it comes in a packet and sometimes it's just thrown on the corned beef right on the surface. If it's thrown on the surface, just scrape it off and rinse your corned beef and put them in after. So, go ahead and pour it in. So I'm just going to cut this open. Now, if it doesn't come with a spice packet, you can buy some. Sometimes I like to add a little extra, and I'm going to link it below where you can get it from, in case you want some extra. All right, so he's added the beer. Now, you want to just fill this just to cover the meat. I'm going to do that. Now, there's onions there, so I'm going to kind of push it down so that it's in the liquid. You want the meat in the liquid. So there, now it's in the liquid. That's good. Okay.
Keyword boiled.
Alright, so gross. Alright, so you can take the spices and just going to pour it right in there. Right into the water. And we need a little bit more water. Just like that. And then we're going to take a bay leaf. Oh, thank you. Put a little bit more water. Now that I move the onions away, the meat went down a little bit, so that's better. Alright, that's perfect. The bay leaf, just sink it right into the water just like that. Ba-bam! Time to cook. Where's the lid? Oh, thank you. Alright, so we're going to close the pressure cooker. I'm using an Instant Pot. You want to push your valve away to seal it, and we're going to set the time. I'm going to hit the pressure cook button. Your machine might say manual, all the same. And I'm going to set it for 65 minutes. Depending on your cut, you may need to go longer. I like to start with 65 because that's usually pretty perfect. Some people might like a more tender beef. Alright, so we're there. Alright, so we're going to let it cook for 65 minutes and I will come back and we'll add the potatoes and the cabbage. See you in a bit. All right, we're going to release the pressure now. There we go. While it's releasing, I'm going to cut the cabbage into quarters. Pull off any bad leaves and make sure you cut the bottom off. Just like that. And then we'll cut it. That's in half, and now I'm going to cut it once again to make it into quarters. You can cut it more if you'd like, but I'd rather do that after it cooks so that it stays together while it's cooking. Alright, there we go. Alright, so we're going to take the corned beef out. I'm going to put it into a plate. I'm going to add some of the cooking liquid so that it stays moist. And then we're going to add the potatoes and the cabbage right into the cooking liquid. Now, if you're doing low carb, instead of the potatoes, take some turnips, cut them up, and take radishes. Radishes are great in this recipe. They lose a bitter taste once they're cooked, and they'll kind of taste like potatoes, a little more juicy. Leave the little green tips on, it makes them look really cute. So for this recipe, I'm using about medium red potatoes. Try to get them so they're all the same size. Now, if you're using an 8-quart pressure cooker, which you can do when it's really convenient, you can actually leave your potatoes in this basket and put the cabbage right on top and just lower it in. Makes it real convenient to take it right out. Alright, since I'm using a 6-quart, I'm going to dump the potatoes in. Alright, so the little pressure pan is about to go down, and then we can open up the, there we go, open up away from you. Very, very hot. Put this over here. And I'm going to take out the meat. You may need help. I'll let you know, Ed, in a second. Are you around? Oh, there you are.
I'm here.
He's over there doing something. You know, the corned beef shrinks a whole lot. You know, I always recommend when making corned beef, buy at least double what you think you're going to need. Besides the fact that it shrinks, I have a couple of recipes to use up leftover corned beef. That's incredible. One of them is a pub-style corned beef egg roll. Delicious. Alright, so we've taken this out. And what I'm going to do is just cover it, or actually just pour over some of the cooking liquid. Alright, perfect. And I've got a cover, so I'll put this aside while the potatoes and the cabbage cook. So I'm going to add this in. Be careful you don't hurt yourself when you put it in. I'm going to add the potatoes in first, as they take longer to cook than the corned beef, so we lay those on the bottom.
You mean the cabbage?
Oh, the cabbage. What did I say? The corned beef?
Yeah.
I always do that for some reason. Alright, so now we're going to put the cabbage right on top of the potatoes. Just like that. One there, and then one more here. That's it. And we'll put the top back on. Just going to cook this for a couple of minutes. You know, if your potatoes are really big, you may need to cook longer. If the potatoes are small, you'll cook for less time. Play it by ear. If you want to add carrots, put them in now. Alright, so I'm going to cancel, and then I will push my pressure cook button, and I'm just going to cook it for 2 minutes. We'll be back shortly. So we're back. I'm releasing the pressure from the potatoes and the cabbage, and Ed is going to tell you how to cut the corned beef.
Always start with a sharp knife. I like to cut the meat on a slight angle, as it makes a nicer presentation on the plate when you serve it. And you want to cut the corned beef against the grain so it doesn't just fall apart. I'm going to cut it in like maybe 1/4 inch slices. And that's pretty much all there is to it.
Great, so you'll put that on the plate, and I will serve up the potatoes and the cabbage, and we'll be ready to eat. This is going to be a great St. Patrick's Day. Again, I'm protected with my green. I won't get pinched. Although I bet these days they probably don't pinch anymore, do they? They did. What?
I'm not wearing green, but my mother was Irish, so I think I'm protected.
Well, I'm going to pinch you. All right. That's great.
There we have it.
That looks wonderful.
Do you need a knife?
I don't need the knife.
Okay.
All right. What timing, huh? We could have planned it better. So let me open up the lid. Cabbage looks wonderful. I'm going to put some on the serving platter. Assuming I can get it out. Oops, let me use this fork. And we'll get this out. Look at that, the cabbage is cooked to perfection. Go right there. Here's one. Here's another piece. Look at that. Awesome. I'm going to drip some liquid over the top to save me from scooping it up. Now, it stayed nice and moist as it's being served. I'll add some potatoes to the plate, and I'm going to put the extra into this bowl just to get it out of the way. Like that. Ed, are you hungry back there?
You bet.
Yes, Ed's mother's side, right, is Irish?
Yes. Irish and some other things, I don't know.
Okay, so there we go. You'll see everything is fork tender. The potatoes are fork tender. I'm going to put this so I don't drop it. There we go. I think that's enough for now. That's good to get it started, isn't it? Okay. Let me move this out of the way.
You know, a little story. When I was in the Navy and they used to serve corned beef and cabbage on the ship, so many people didn't like corned beef and cabbage. So we were allowed to have seconds, thirds, fourths, because there was always so much left over.
Oh my gosh.
That was like, you know...
How can anybody not like this? This is fantastic.
I don't know, but there was lots of guys that just would not eat it.
All right, so here we go. Take a look. Is this wonderful? Ed, I'm going to serve you up a little bit, if that's okay with you.
Okay.
So we'll take it from the end. Give you some on your plate. I know he loves this stuff. I'm going to give him a big portion. And I will give him a whole piece of cabbage. Like that. And I will give you a potato from here. You see my fork went right through it. So, there you go. How about some mustard? Bam!
Absolutely.
What do you want it on? Everything?
Yep.
Everything?
Everything? Everything.
All right, this is what I do too. Is that enough?
That's good. That's good.
Okay, take a taste.
I like butter on it too, but maybe
like,
later. Maybe later.
Maybe later.
Nice and juicy.
Look how tender that is.
Oh, that's good.
Is it good?
Yeah, that's great.
Well, everyone, I hope you have a wonderful St. Patrick's Day. Remember, eat this year-round. I'm going to link below some recipes to use for the leftovers. And I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, this recipe will be on my blog at thisoldgal.com with pictures and full directions. And I will also add all the products I use down there. So you can follow me on Twitter, Pinterest, and Instagram if you'd like. Thank you so much for joining us on In the Kitchen with Jill. Bye. We will see you next time.
Later. Hey everybody, Ed here. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and follow us on social media. We'll see you in the next video.